Hello and welcome, I am Helle, and I am back from the UK Games Expo, and it was a thrill joining the expo this year too. I mean, we had a lot of great days, we played a lot of games, met a lot of different people, and also the weather was with us. It was great weather all days, and I am going to show you the games that I brought home with me. It's not that many games since I had to be able to fit them all in my suitcase. But yeah, I'm going to show you my games, and I'm going to talk a little bit about all of the games because I have tried to play all of them. When you have been away on a convention, you can always feel a little bit sad when you get home again because you're going to miss the days, you're going to miss the business and meeting up with people, playing games, and there's a lot of stuff going on when you are at a convention. But for me, I haven't been able to think that much about it because when I came home, the day after I came home Monday, then on Tuesday I had an eye surgery. So now I can see again, guys. I mean, I have my youth vision back, and that should be for the rest of my life. Because if you noticed on some of the videos, I had to have glasses on when I was playing games because yeah, that is something that will come to you all, and that I can promise. You're all going to have problems seeing things on a close range when you get older. But there is a thing you can do about it, and that I'm actually going to make a video just about that because I think it's amazing. And it's just been over a week and some days since I had my eyes fixed, and I can see everything now. So I'm pretty happy and thrilled about that. But that is not what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about what did I bring home with me in my suitcase. Because I had to have it in one suitcase to fit. So if you have seen my videos from the UK Games Expo, the vlogs, then you might already know the games that I brought with me home. But I'm going to show you the games. I'm going to talk a little bit about them. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my first impressions of the games. So first I'm going to kick it off with this little fella, Suli. And this game is for 1 to 6 players. It takes about 15 minutes to play, and it's for the ages 8+. And in this, I can just show you inside since it's just a little box here. And it's pretty simple. You are playing the game over 3 years, and you have a lot of different cards with animals. You have a number on here, victory points, and how much space it requires, and if it's a friendly animal or if it's not a friendly animal. And you can only have friendly animals living with friendly animals. There are some exceptions to some of the cards, or you can get some upgrades. Then you have some areas, enclosures, where you can have animals, and this is how many you can have in the enclosure, and in which areas the different enclosures they are for. And let's just find some more of the enclosures. For example, this one, you can have only one animal in this one, but it can be up to 6 in space. And this one have 2 different, they have plains and grassland, and you can have up to 6 in total value. So you could have, for example, this bear and this lion in this enclosure, and then it would be filled up. So in this game, players, they're going to start with a number of cards, and you're going to play over 3 years, and then you're going to place animals in enclosures. And you're going to draft cards. So each player, they're going to get one card and send the cards to the next player, and then you're going to draft the cards. So you kind of know what are in the decks, and then you need to build these enclosures and add animals. And you can also have upgrades to some of the enclosures. So maybe you can have well fed, so you can both have friendly and not friendly animals in the same enclosure. And maybe you can upgrade, so you can have room for 2 more in an enclosure. So this is a simple card drafting game where you're going to build your enclosures with animals, and then after each year you're going to score points. A super simple game that I think is enjoyable for the whole family. And yeah, it's a simple little game where you're going to build your animals in different enclosures, and a little enjoyable game. So that is Suli, one of the games that I brought home with me So that was a little game I had in my suitcase. But let's take a look at another little game that I had in my suitcase, and that is Viking Raiders. I also bought a mat to it, and then you have the card. So this is actually a small game, and the rules. And here you have a lot of Viking cards. You have to build different cards, and you have some objectives you need to go up to in each of these different cards. So this is resources, and that you need to build the card, and then you do have some cards with resources on them that you can use to build. So this is cards for the market that you can build. And then we have, this is victory conditions, depending on how many players you are and how long game you have. Then you can have different victory conditions. For there are 3 navy, clan and loot, and then you need 7 victory points in each to win. So if each of you are going to kind of be your own clan, and you have 1 deck of cards, and with this you have some rating cards. You have some cards here you can use to purchase. You have gold, you have Vikings, and you have different resources, wood, and these you are going to use to get the cards you need to make these conditions. So the rules for the game is actually, they are pretty simple, but it's a fun game if you like games where you can go against each other, and there's the take that element in the game. But in this game, it is all about the take that element. So yeah, I think it's a fun game. I played it at the fair. So that was also a small game that I easily could fit in my suitcase, Viking Raiders. So that was Viking Raiders, 2 small games and then a little mat, and this one doesn't weigh much, so that was fine. And then I grabbed a copy of Wingspan Asia, and this is a new Wingspan standalone edition where you can play it with 1 to 2 players, or you can use it with your normal Wingspan, and then it will add up to 6 and 7 players when you play the game. And this game I have actually already recorded a little playthrough with 2 players, so this will soon be up on the channel. And in this version you still have the dice, you have the food, but you have some different, you have these tokens that you're going to place on the board. What is special in the Asia version is that you have this board, and each time you build a bird, you're going to place a token on one of the spaces. If you build on the in the water area, or in the wood, or in this area, then you're going to place, depending on what you used, you're going to place a token here. And then all the end goals, they have to do with where you have placed tokens in this area. So the end goal conditions for each round, they are different. They are only using this bird tray. So that is a special one. And on the other side, you have, if you're going to play with 6 to 7 players in the normal Wingspan, and there's also a board for the ocean expansion, then you have to use this one for the point that you're going to gain when you're playing with 6 to 7 players. And I like this edition they have made. The birds, they are different. They have some different. They have both end goal scoring and end game scoring. And then a lot of the bird cards, they have something to do with that. When you activate the bird, then you're going to get something. But then all other players, they're also going to get something. They have a lot more of those cards in this expansion. But I have made a playthrough of it that will soon be up on the channel too. So if you're interested in what this version does, then you can of course watch that one. So that was Wingspan. Also not that big of a game, but it did weigh a bit more than the other 2 games. And then another not that big of a game and doesn't weigh that much is Animal Scattering. I'm trying not to put it up too much, because then all my tokens inside, they will be all around. And you will see in a moment when I show you the game. And this game is for 2 to 5 players. It takes about 20 to 40 minutes to play, and it's for the ages 8+. But let's take a look at Animal Gatherings. And in Animal Gatherings, this is a dice game when you're going to roll dice, and you're going to try to fulfill some big cards. These cards are really big. So you have some animal cards, and then you have these dice. And underneath this tray, you have a lot of tokens, and that was the tokens I didn't want to get all around in the box. And you're going to roll these dice on your turn. And if you have 2 cards, you can roll 4 dice, and you're going to choose which ones. There is an overview card you're going to start with, where each of you're going to shuffle these and get one of random. Then you have an ability that is different for each player. And you can here you have an overview of the dice. Then you're going to choose 4 dice, depending on what you have, and then you're going to roll them. And the things you can use, you're going to get. And if there's stuff you can't use, then your opponents are going to get it. So that is a fun part I like. And if you have seen The Border, a roll and write game, they have kind of the same, where you roll dice, and dice you can't use, your opponents are going to get. And I like that element. That is why I was drawn to this game too. And this is a light, easy family game. And this is the one we have actually played the most, because it's quick and it's just a little fun, easy game that is pretty quick. I actually think most of our games wouldn't take much more than 20 minutes when we were 3 players or 2 players. So a simple little luck. There's a lot of luck in this one, but I don't mind, and I like dice. So that was Animal Gatherings, also a smaller game. Oh, did I put it up there? I hope the tokens are still in their room so I don't have to sort them again. Yeah, so that was Animal Gatherings. And then I have 2 more games that I had the space for in my suitcase, and I could actually have taken one more game. I was close on wanting to take The Beast, but it was a huge box and it did weigh a lot, so I was afraid that it would be too much. So I said, maybe I can grab it at Essenspiel when it's time for that, because then I'm in my car and I can have more games. So I have 2 more of the bigger boxes, and one of them is Rebuilding Seattle. And with this one, I think it's easier just to look at the back side here, because you have a market and you have a lot of cards and you have a price for the different cards, and you're going to put out a number of cards depending on how many players you are. Then you're going to have more boards if you're more players. Then you have a lot of tiles, like Tetris tiles, that you're going to purchase, and you have your own little city that you're going to build, and then you're going to expand it. You're going to buy cards where you can expand your area, and then you get more place to build all of these different tokens. And then you have popularity. You have a thing where you go up on, so you can score. You have popularity, how popular your different things are, and you have people that you need to go down with, so you can score points for 3 different things in the game. So it was actually, the rules for this game was pretty easy, and they have some good player aids. So it's quick to go down, and it's quick to learn the rules for the game and play the game, and then we enjoyed it. So we both actually grabbed a copy of this with us home. So that was Rebuilding Seattle. And my last game that I picked up is the heaviest game, that is Earth. This is pretty heavy, but there's a lot of cards in this game. And we played the game and we enjoyed it. So we grabbed a copy of that game too. And it is a beautiful cover for this game, Earth. This game is for 1 to 5 players for the ages 14 plus and takes 45 to 90 minutes to play. And this is a card game where you're going to get a lot of cards, and then you're going to build cards. And you're going to get these, was it dirt tokens, to build the cards. And you're going to build 4 times 4. You have a tableau of 4 times 4. When someone has built all these 16 cards, then the game is going to end and you're going to go for scoring. And you have a lot of different things you can score for. You have some common things you can score for, then you're going to have your own things you can score for, and then you are going to have cards that can score you points. So there's a lot of things you can score points for. I think the game works pretty well. There's a lot of different things you can go for, and it's going to be different because you have a lot of different cards so that you're going to see in each game. Some have said it compared it kind of with Wingspan, and but I think I still think that is two different games. So it's not like that I think this one would replace my Wingspan game. Not at all, not at all. It's two different games, but they have some of the similarity concepts to them. But that was the 6 games that I brought home with me from the UK Games Expo. I never have that many games with me since I have to have them all in my suitcase. But when I'm at Essen, I have room for a lot more games. So that is where I will get a lot more games with me home. So that was all the games that I brought home with me in my suitcase. I could even have had one more game. I had 5 kilos and I had room for one more game. So I could have brought maybe the Beast with me home. I was interested in that one too, and I did go over and look at it. We didn't get to play it, but it did look intriguing. So maybe I will grab it at Essen Spiel. I'm glad for all the games that I brought with me home. And if you have any recommendations you want me to do on the channel, then feel free to comment them. And if it's possible for me and I have time for it, then I will look into it. I do have a request. I had a request of making something where I compare the UK Games Expo with Essen, and I will make sure to make a video with that at some point too. But I have a lot of stuff going on at the moment and the videos that I'm going to make. So that is it, guys. I'm back home. I'm full of energy. I have my eyes where I can see everything. I can see the screen here. I can see close. I can see everything. I'm so happy. You don't know how annoyed I have been with using these because man, I'm nearsighted, and when I was recording, I would put out my lenses so I could see all the cards, but then I couldn't see properly on the screen, so I had to go up and really look close when I wanted to see stuff on the screen, and now I can see everything. There will be a video out about that because I want to share that message. Then even though your arms are starting to get too short because you can't really see proper anymore because of your age side, then there is a solution, and I want to share that because I'm so super thrilled with having my eyes done and I can see everything now. So yeah, that is it, guys. I'm home. I'm back from the UK game, so this is all my loot and I'm happy with it. And I will say bye and thank you for watching.